Hello everyone. Gluebook January is almost here, and I just wanted to show you some of the books that I will be working in the month of January. If you're new to Gluebook January, welcome, welcome. I have a playlist all about glue books, how to make them, some different options. All the questions are answered. There's a playlist and it is in the description box below if you want a little bit more information. So for my glue book January, I want to keep things pretty simple. I'm going to concentrate on this little serendipity book. I put together, it's a junk journal. I found this little piece of watercolor paper that I had collaged onto. I found some pieces of junk paper to put into it. I like the idea of a small little random book. With my lack of time, I wanted something so that I didn't put a lot of pressure on myself if I don't get a lot of stuff done. So I just sewed it together with a stab stitch, a back and forth kind of thing. It wasn't measured, and it's it's not perfect. Perfect is boring. So I'm hoping to get a little bit done with this little book. I just want something to do some glue therapy in when I do have some time. And I'm not going to worry if it turns out, if it's good enough to post. I just want to be able to glue pieces of paper into a book and relax. So this is the one that I probably will do the most in. I will concentrate on because it's small and it's going to be fun. Here is an altered book that I took a lot of the pages out of it. It is a Japanese, I don't know if it's a novel or what it is, but it's all in Japanese. And so it will be done in a visual journal style, like my math book, where I just randomly pick some things that catch my eye, glue them to the page, and move on. This is probably a long-term project. I meant to start a few months ago. I got as far as taking the pages out and never did glue anything into it. So it's going to be on my Glue Book January list. And hopefully I will get it started and get it going. So another book that I came across is this Meander book. I was sorting out some stuff. I was organizing, and I came across it, and I don't remember it. I've started it and don't know a whole lot more. So I just thought I would put it in the pile and see if I can maybe add a little bit to it, because it is far from being finished. So if you're not familiar with Meander books, I have some tutorials on how to make these. They're a lot of fun to make, and they're a lot of fun to use. So another one that I wanted to do was a sketchbook glue book. Now this one is a leftover sketchbook, and I just want to grab stuff randomly and glue it to the page, kind of like maybe a mood board. So, grab whatever. I guess it could be a visual journal, or I don't like to give definitions too much. It's going to be whatever it is. So just grab some stuff, glue it arrange it, leave white space, don't leave white space, just whatever catches my fancy. And I like the idea of the sketchbook just to use up scraps. So I found this sketch diary at Walmart. It's got 70 sheets. It's 5.5 by 8.5 inches. This is a cute little pocket that I can add something cool to. And it's just blank paper. And I thought it would be fun just to glue scraps to. Nothing fancy, just really random scraps. I get a lot of scraps left over from projects that are interesting, and I can't throw them away. And so I end up, and it doesn't take very long, I end up with baskets and boxes full of scraps, bits of collage fodder. And so I'm kind of hoping that with something like this, I will be able to use up some of those scraps randomly and see what happens. So I'm kind of thinking that this will be more of a long-term, maybe 2025 glue book. And so I can just add to it all year long, and I will see what happens at the end of the year. I will see how much scraps I used and see what it turns out to be. I'm not expecting it to be very pretty, and that's really not the purpose for me. I want to be able to just glue stuff down and not worry about it. Kind of like serendipity paper. You just randomly keep gluing stuff until you don't want to glue stuff to that page anymore. So it'll be one of those random things. It'll be fun. And then my last one for this year is this little book that I found at the Dollar Tree. It's really cute, right? It's got 80 pages in it. 80 sheets is what it says, and it's 4 by 4. So I was thinking that would be a cute little book to add scraps to, but when I was looking at it, I noticed it was pretty full, and I haven't added anything to it. When you're gluing stuff to pages, you're gluing paper to the front and back of each page. So what used to be one page is now equal to 3 pages. If you just keep going that way, you end up with a book that's got alligator mouth. I don't mind alligator mouth. I like alligator mouth, but it's hard to put a book like that on a shelf with other books. So I started taking out some of the pages. I like this one because it's sewn in. Not very often nowadays do you find books that are sewn in. So I took out 2 pages from each signature. There's 5 signatures in here. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, there really needs to be a little bit more room in here. So I am going to be taking out a little bit more. So when you're taking out pages, you want to make sure that you get both sides of the page. If you just tear out one side, the other side is not anchored in by anything. And if you're working on it on a page that's not anchored, that page will eventually fall out of the book. And I don't want that. So make sure when you're taking pages out of a book, make sure you get both sides so your pages don't fall out. an easy way to make sure that you've got both sides of the page is to find the stitches in the center and just take out that page. But you end up with little holes. It doesn't really matter. Once you get a bunch of stuff glued into it, you won't even notice. It'll get all thick and fluffy, and it will be fine, and no need to worry about it at all. So I am taking out one page from each signature, and that really does help that a little bit, so I can add some stuff to these little pages and not worry too much about it being way too thick. It's still going to get pretty thick with stuff. And I'm not sure exactly if I will have time to work on this one. I'm really going to concentrate on this one and try to do a little bit with the other ones. This is my main one. I'm excited to start just randomly gluing bits to the pages of this. And I will do it like a random journal where I just glue one bit to the page and then go to a different page and just glue one bit to that page. And that way I'm not planning each page. I'm not trying to make a pretty page. I'm just randomly gluing stuff. I like the way these books turn out in the end. It's a hodgepodge. It's the funny thing, things get put together that would normally not be thought of to be put together, and they end up being cute little stories each page, these random little bits that end up together. Serendipity was my word last year. It just kind of stuck with me, and serendipity to me is happy accidents. And that's what I want for this book. I just want it to be random. I want things to end up together that weren't really meant to be together, and just enjoy it for whatever it happens to end up to be. I'm not going to worry about it too much. It'll probably be a little bit of a visual journal. It'll be a glue book. It'll be a random collage book. It will be a junk journal. It will be all of those things. And I'm hoping it will be a whole lot of fun just to see what happens and to relax with. So I hope you've joined me for Glue Book January. You can use whatever you have. You can use any images that you want. If you've got images saved up, you don't have to have magazines for this. You can use painted paper. You can use glue-in tickets. You can glue in doodles from the kids. You can glue in stamped images. You don't have to have magazines for Glue Book January. You just use what you have. Have fun. Just glue stuff to the pages, and that's all there is to it. I hope you join me. It can be a lot of fun. It's really relaxing. Good luck. Thanks for watching.